Hey, beautiful people.
Peace.
I'm Trisha Marie.
Lotta J.
And we're the Carters.
Carters.
And you're now watching Now That the Kids Are Asleep.
And they are asleep. Thank God.
They sure are. And yeah, we got our coffee. Are we old because we're drinking coffee at 3:30 in the morning?
Man, well, I work through the night, you know what I mean? Long editing schedules, long songwriting sessions. I swear by this stuff, man. Shouts to Bustelo, man.
Yeah, shout out to Bustelo. We faithfully in this household drink Bustelo coffee. But today's episode is a really good episode because we're going to be talking about manifesting. Manifesting your life, bringing your vision into reality.
Yeah, it's a real thing, people.
Manifestation is really powerful when you have more than one person believing in you, right?
Yep. It's a real thing, people.
So together we manifested so much. So we wanted to kind of go through the process of manifestation, but also give you a highlight of our journey and what got us. Our
testimony.
Yeah, what got us to the point to where we're at today and where we're going, because we are still going, right?
Still going.
I know last episode we talked about how we met. So before we get into like a lot of topics, we want to like give you guys a little bit of background stories of who we are, because I feel like it's really important for you to understand who we are before we get into all that good conversations and topics. So we left off of how we met, right?
Yep.
We're going to go from how we met, and we're going to fast forward to living in my best friend's parents' house basement.
Yeah.
And when I mean fast forward, and I know a lot of you are probably like confused, like, wait, hold up. But we'll get there, and you're just going to have to keep up with the show so you can follow along with the story, so you can piece the puzzle pieces together. So we're going to start off there, baby. You want to let them know, like, we're not going to go into the details of how we got to my best friend's parents' house. And shout out to my best friend, my childhood best friend, and her parents.
Yeah. Shouts to them, man.
Yeah, I have no idea how much how much love in my heart I have for you guys, because at this point of our time, we were in a dark, messed up place.
Yeah, man. Yeah. Baby Zayla was on the way.
Yeah, I was pregnant.
You know, and it was just definitely a situation we didn't need at the time.
It was scary because we weren't there because we wanted to. Let's just say that, right? Mm-hmm. Something happened, and we ended up there, and we were really messed up, like, because we weren't expecting it, so we wasn't really prepared financially.
No, not at all.
Wasn't prepared financially. I was pregnant. I felt like I was homeless, even though technically I wasn't, because my best friend's parents took us in. Mm-hmm. I still kind of felt homeless, because if we weren't there, like, where were we going to be, right?
Yeah.
My best friend's parents are amazing. They took us in, you know, they knew our situation, and they were like, listen, save money so you guys can get your apartment. They allowed me to live with them, and also my husband, which is a big deal, because they didn't really know you that well.
No, not at all.
You know, they knew of you, but they didn't personally know you.
I don't even think I've met them previous to that.
Really?
Not that I could recall. I don't think we've ever been introduced.
And they let this man stay in their house, in their home, and they treated us like family. And, you know, they're family to me regardless. That's like my second parents. But at that time, they really showed support and love when we really needed it.
They saw the vision.
Really, they really did see the vision. And we were just like, listen, we have no choice right now to accept the opportunity to stay in your basement. But we are going to get out of here, and we do have plans, and we do have dreams, and, you know, we appreciate it, but just give us a little bit of time. You know, like, we didn't want to, like, overstep our boundaries. No. And just...
We had a plan. You know, we wasn't squatting.
Yeah.
We wasn't like them people on, what was that, Netflix, Hulu? What was
Squatters. I forgot that documentary.
I forgot what it was called.
Go check it out though. It was good.
We wasn't squatting. We was trying to bust a move.
And I cried every day.
Yeah.
And I was pregnant. I cried like every day because I wasn't used to that lifestyle, and I wasn't comfortable. You know, I'm not the type of person to like leech off somebody, and I didn't feel like I was leeching, but I don't really ask for help. I'm always the helper. I don't really ask for help. So being in that position where I needed the help and taking the help, I kind of felt uncomfortable, you know? Yeah. So I would cry to him every day, you know, and of course You're always there to support me, and I love that. You know, he always
I
was
get
there
it, man.
to.
I've been through it, man. I've been
Yeah.
through a lot of experiences that, you know, that made me who I am today. So if ever a situation, you know, I'm not affected as much as the next person would be. Not saying I don't have feelings and emotions and things don't bother me, but, you know, I've seen some things, so I know how to navigate through life and I know how to handle things and stuff like that. And, you know, I went through a time myself because I'm, you know, as an artist that's all over the world traveling and doing things and, you know, making an impact in the world and the culture, just being somebody from where I'm from, you know, stuff was slow at that time. So I had to be in a vulnerable position and get a job. I worked at a nursing home, you know what I mean? And which took up a lot of my time, so I wasn't even able to really pursue things in my career the way I wanted to because, you know, baby Zayla on the way, we got to get out of these people's house. You know what I mean? I'm trying to hold it down. So, you know, we both were in a vulnerable position, but, you know, you gotta keep going. You can't stop moving. You know, when you become stagnant, that's where you allow, you know, negative thoughts to come in. You allow, you know, bad habits to sneak in. You become lazy. You don't want to do nothing. And then it's going to be like hell trying to get yourself out of those routines and stuff. So, you know, when I'm down, I don't stay down. I jump right back up. So, you know, I allow her to feel what she was feeling and go through what she was going through because I understand we come from different walks of life. So, you know, I'm understanding that this is all new to her, so she needs to experience it just the way I needed to experience it. So, you know, I will make her feel better, but, you know, you also got to sit in this because when we come out of this, you're going to be so much of not say a better person because she's already a better person, but when you come out of this, your morale is just going to be so much stronger. Your drive, your ambition will be totally different because when you've gone through something like that, you don't ever want to go through that ever again. You know what I mean? So.
Right. And, you know, like he said, like I had to sit in that uncomfortable position and situation that I was in because I think that was a part of my journey as well of manifestation because I come from more of a privileged background, financially privileged. Let's clear that up. Financially privileged, not that other privilege. But, you know, so my parents, my dad's an immigrant. You know, he came into this country and both my parents, they work hard and they were successful and they gave us a really good lifestyle. But like I said in the last episode, when they got a divorce, everything came crumbling down. It's like that, like riches to rags, even though we weren't rich. But you know what I'm saying? Like it was just kind of like we live a comfortable life. Everything is taken away from you and you're like at rock bottom. And that was at the point, like we were at rock bottom.
Yeah.
And, but I wouldn't change that for the world. So while we were in rock bottom and while we were living there, we were just on this plan, like, all right, we're going to get this apartment. We're going to be out. And we were on it. Like saving, just visualizing it, calling the places, just believing that it was going to happen with no doubts about it.
It shows you how on it we was. We moved from Carteret to Newark. We didn't even care where we moved. You know, no slight to Newark because I love Newark. You know, that was one of my favorite places to live. You know what I'm saying? But, you know, we could have found a different place, but we was just like anything right now.
Anything. Just so we wasn't like invading someone else's space, you know. And even though we weren't and they made us feel super comfortable, it was still just like, come on, we're having a baby. We want our own space, you know. So
you ever lived with somebody before, you know what I'm talking about.
Right. So like he said, we moved. We ended up moving to Newark, New Jersey. And Newark is beautiful. Don't get me wrong, Newark is beautiful. The culture, everything is beautiful. Where we happened to move may have not been the most beautiful area of Newark, right?
Beautiful to me. Shouts to North, man.
Yeah, definitely.
You know what I'm saying?
I will
North
never
showed us
ever
mad love, man.
regret anything. But we ended up in Newark, and listen, that was that was an environment shock for me. I don't even want to just say environment because not much.
Thought she was crying in the basement.
I don't want to say environment shock. I want to say lifestyle shock. That's probably the right word to say. Because the lifestyle was shocking to me that I was living. And I'm like, I am in this one. I don't even know if you want to call it a one bedroom. Was it a one bedroom?
Barely.
They stretched out a studio, sliced it, and said, here's a bed, and that's a living room. One bedroom apartment.
That shit was a storage unit. You might as well call that joint.
It was small. It was very intimate, I would say, right?
Yeah, definitely. Definitely not a place for a small family.
No. Oh my God.
Shoot, I don't even know if it was suitable for a bachelor. You know what I'm saying?
I don't think it was suitable. First of all, we won't even get under like the landlord and
Hey man, shouts to my man Carlos, man.
Carlos was the maintenance guy.
Oh, okay. Yeah, he wasn't the landlord.
Yeah.
But he might as well been.
Cool.
He might as well have been the landlord, man. He did everything.
But listen, y'all, so we're in Newark, right? We're in this small apartment. I'm even creeped out saying this, but there's bugs. Roaches.
Man, if you lived in the hood before, you know what we talking about.
Yeah, and it's it's just, no matter what, they're just gross.
It is what it is.
Know?
When you live in the hood, it doesn't matter if your house is clean. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, no, that has nothing to do with the house being clean.
What I'm saying is just...
Our home was clean.
What I'm saying is just the conditions of the neighborhood,
right?
In general,
and you can't control your neighbors, and
you know what I'm saying?
And even the building, just the garbage and stuff like that. So, but yeah, the apartment had let's just say this, we weren't living there alone.
Man, it was mice in there, and they wanted to be in there.
Yeah.
You know how sometimes, you might see one passing through. No, they wanted to be in there. They were chewing through the walls. You can hear it when you sleep. They were
gangster.
Very gangster. Don't forget about Carlos.
Oh, yeah.
You can't forget about what Carlos
Not
said
Carlos.
Next, man.
Okay, so our our maintenance
he might
guy.
as well have been the landlord.
He was everything.
He's the only person
he
we
was
saw.
The repair
he
man,
did
man.
He was the landlord. Let's just say Carlos was the landlord.
He was everything.
Mega cool, bro.
Yeah, real
Mega cool. But when it comes to getting this nigga to come and show up at the apartment and do something, bro, this nigga ain't got no conversation, bro.
So we called him one day because my husband was fed up. Well, fuck your husband. My husband was fed up. We were fed up because of the mice. And we call him, and he doesn't even come up. This is what he tells my husband.
We were actually smoking as he's telling me this. I had a little spot in the back of the building that was very, discreet. He used to always act like he was taking garbage out and stuff, but he had me timed. He knew when I was going outside. And he would always come back there when I was smoking. He would always, I'm generous. I ain't stingy. I always let him share with me. You know what I'm saying? And I'm like, since we here, we got a rodent problem, sir. You know what I'm saying?
Now that I got your attention,
since you want to act like the homie and share the L with me and son, you know what I mean? So what's good with this? Can you fix this? And he like, yo, man, I don't know, man. You gonna have to get a cat, man. And I'm like, what? Like, I didn't even know how to respond to that. It was just after it was over. I went in the house and I was just like, yo, babe, he told us to get a cat. You know, I understand if y'all can't provide an exterminator. You know, that's expensive, even though y'all should be. But I understand if you can't. But, you know, since you are handling all the grounds and maintenance, I would figure you would have a glue trap somewhere or something.
Something,
This
right?
guy gonna tell me to go get a cat. I was so fed up with this whole
Oh my
Fandango,
God, I already.
man.
So this is how like in sync we are that I already know what he's talking about. He's talking about when I caught him that day with binaural beats. So this guy, listen, so that nobody really likes mice and all that, you know, rats but we didn't have rats, but mice, right? So I guess I was asleep and he had realized that, you know, there was one in the living room kitchen because it was so small, everything's right there, right? So I wake up and I'm like hearing weird sounds and just a lot of like things going on. And it's him like just moving furniture around. He has music playing. And I'm like, and it's weird music too. And I'm like, what are you doing? And he's like, well, I YouTubed it, and they said this music irritates the mice, and you know they'll leave or whatever. And I'm sitting there laughing because I'm like, really? Like,
they lied.
Yeah, they definitely did. But it was funny. It was cute to watch him do all of this stuff to try to, you know, comfort us in our living situation.
Ah, man, because it was haunting, man. You're trying to sleep and you hear them biting through the walls, trying to get into our apartment, like. What's in here that you want so bad, bro?
Right.
We ain't got but 2 things in the refrigerator, dog. What do you want, man? We ain't got nothing for you, Mickey. You know what I'm saying? Like, I was over it, man.
Oh, man, it was definitely a humbling experience, and it was a lifestyle shocker for me because of how I grew up, you know what I'm saying? And I'm in this situation. And not to say it's a bad situation, just it wasn't what I expected. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not trying to knock anybody who's lived in this situation before. It's just you have to understand I came from a different upbringing, so I'm only accustomed to what I know. You know, so.
And I mean, let's keep it real, man. No matter whose circumstances are, nobody should have to live like that. You know what I'm saying? Everybody gotta get their stuff together, man. You know, the landlords be slumlords. The corporation that own the building be slum. Like, you know what I'm saying? But shouts to Do It All, man. You know what I mean? Running the city out there now. We need more people in positions like that so we can change stuff like this.
He's definitely gonna make the city.
Do It All, Kelly, man. Better. She's a legend in hip hop and legend in Newark. And, you know, that's a beautiful thing, man.
That's such a proud moment for him.
Because Newark is a beautiful place. You know, some people that are not from our walks of life may not see the beauty in the place. But, you know, wherever our people are, you know, is beautiful to me. You know what I'm saying? You can always find beauty in art and all kinds of stuff within that, you know. So, you know, our experiences was a little different, you know, since I do the entertainment career and all of that stuff. I'm closer to the city now. You know, things is going on in Newark. Mm-hmm. You know, she's working at Nonfiction Radio. Shouts to Ray Swag. That's you know, they showed us mad love and let us come and work out of there and compile our resume up and do a bunch of amazing stuff. So, you know, even though it was a trying time in Newark, it was also a cool experience at the same time too. You know, where else in the world you gonna go and get a $1 sub and a bag of chips and a soda for like $4? Where else are you gonna go to get that?
Yeah, and not to mention the Dominican restaurant up the block. I was just about to say that. You can get a whole big old meal for $5.
$5. Like, you know what I'm saying? No. Shouts to North Newark, man.
Yeah, Newark has definitely molded me to become the woman I am today.
Some of the best barbers, best everything, man.
Yeah. Newark I needed that experience for sure. And not to mention, our alarm clock every morning was just very unique. So, every morning. Good old.
We're not making this up. I wish we would.
You know, we have the good old neighborhood friends, we'll call them, right? Neighborhood friends. the neighborhood friends. Of
Characters.
The characters. Stroming the streets early in the morning, 5 o'clock in the morning, I would say, right?
All beautiful people. They speak when you walk by. And,
great people.
Great people.
Characters. So 5 o'clock in the morning, sleep. We want to get sleep. It's already noisy in Newark. But here we got our neighborhood, our friendly neighbors coming down the street.
Neighbor,
screaming out the
window. One man show.
Screaming out, get your coffee, get your milk, get your cereal.
Nah, he was like, hey, yo, get your breakfast. He like, it's a beautiful thing, man.
It really is.
In hindsight, when you think about it, it's a beautiful thing.
Because we never really woke up mad. It was just kind of like,
time, like, yo,
it's time to get up. It's time to get up.
Get the day started.
It's the alarm clock. And it was motivation, too, at the same time. To be honest with you, it was motivation to say, hey, we need to get the hell out of here.
Yeah. Yeah.
So to tie back the manifestation story is, we wanted to tell you, like, the struggle moments we had. Because, where we're at today is a blessing, but we struggled a lot to get to where we're at today, and we are on a journey that is still going, but in those moments when we were at our lowest times, we use the techniques of manifestation to get us out of those. And a lot of people, they know our story, like, okay, we moved from New Jersey to Atlanta and kind of never looked back, and whatever the case is, which that's not really true, but in the perceptions, in the people's eyes, right? But it
took us so much to get there.
It was a journey to get to where we're at, and we're at a point where we're ready to share the story that we had. And in that moment where, we can laugh about it now, but there were a lot of dark times and a lot of times where, I'll be in the shower and I'm just like crying because I'm like, I have to get out of here. My daughter was going to be born. I just want it better, the way, how it is, like, you always want to give your child better than what you had growing up. And my parents provided me a really good life. So I'm just like, damn, I can't meet what they provided for me, for my kids, or my kid at the moment. So it was stressed out, but at this moment, like we said, we were always spiritual. So we were always kind of like on that, like, if we believe it, we can achieve it, we can receive it.
Yep.
So at that time, I was so adamant about moving. And I'm just like, we're not going to even stay in New Jersey. New Jersey's getting just too expensive. It's not worth it. And to be honest, we were kind of over New Jersey. Like,
Absolutely.
Listen, Jersey is home. I love Jersey with all my heart. But we were at a time where we just felt like we needed to grow and to spread our wings, really, and Atlanta was it for us.
Yeah, and I mean, if y'all seen in the first episode, y'all see me say that, before we met, years and years and years of my entertainment career, I've been traveling the world. So I had already seen so much of the world already to have an actual pick of where I wanted to go. And where I wanted to go and where she wanted to go aligned. For me performing in Atlanta so many times and coming here with, my business partners, I knew that this is where I wanted to come. I seen that our people was flourishing here, and it was so much opportunity, and it reminded me a lot of New York City. Just, I can't even say on a smaller scale because Georgia is
maybe just cleaner.
It's on its own level of just what it's doing. People always want to say Georgia now is popping. Georgia always been popping if you look at history. But made it happen. We made it happen. We wasn't settling.
Like he said, both of our
keep us.
Journeys aligned because he wanted to be in Atlanta. I wanted to be in Atlanta before I met him. I had traveled out here to meet a friend, and I knew this was the place. But I just knew that I wanted to get married and have a family before I came out here. But so Atlanta was the spot. We both had that vision. We were both firm and we believed it, right? So now that we knew that Atlanta was a spot, it was like, okay, where in Atlanta? Where are we going to move? You know, and a lot of people don't understand when it comes to manifestation, you have to know every detail of what you want.
Yeah.
You know, you have to be very specific, okay? You want to move where? What house? How big? You know, how does it look? All these, how much you want to spend, all of these details. So we ended up looking up a neighborhood called Marietta, and Marietta was a really cool spot. And then I saw an apartment complex there that I was just like, I want to live there. I want to live there. It was kind of like the first apartment I saw, and I know they say like don't go with the first apartment, but I was just kind of like, that's it. And every day I would be on the computer and I would just like, we're gonna move there, babe. We're gonna move there. Anybody came to the house, we're moving here. Don't get comfortable here. We're moving here. You know, and every day I would show him pictures. You probably got tired of me because I would show you like the pictures over and over and over again. Like, babe, I've seen it already. And I'm like, just look one more time. Like, can you see us there? Can you see us at the pool? You know.
I believe everything that she don't even have to ask me because she just know that I'm gonna be with stuff. You know what I mean? Like, I'm with whatever you with.
Yeah.
You know, I'm down.
That's
Wherever
true.
you going, I'm going.
That's true. So from that moment, like we were looking at the apartments in Atlanta, you know, we were figuring out what we were going to do because, you know, he was going to Atlanta with the aspirations of being a songwriter, even though you are already a songwriter, but being more an established songwriter and artist and videographer as well.
Yep.
And for me, it's like, okay, I'm doing radio at the time. I want to be a radio personality out there. I want to get a talk show. You know, I want to do all these things. So it was like perfect for our careers. So it's like, okay, this is where we're going to live. This is what we're going to do for our careers. This, and this. We had it all planned out. Although it wasn't something that happened like in a snap of a finger, it was aligning, you know, things were happening as we were visualizing it or just looking up things and not really letting the doubt or fear of not having the money in our bank account right at the moment to do it stop us from believing. Manifestation is real. So if you manifest money, I manifested money and it was a lump sum of money that came. And it was that moment where we were just kind of like, we got to move now.
Yeah. Wasn't trying to stay there no longer.
So yeah, I was looking at these apartments every day, and that was kind of like the apartment that I thought we were gonna move into. You know, of course I saw other apartments, but once we got the lump sum of money, I'm like, we got to move now. We got to go to Atlanta. So we ended up packing up some of our stuff, you know, packing up Zayla and hitting the road and traveling down to Atlanta. And our intention wasn't to move at this moment. It was really just to find a place that we're going to be living, like check it out and see what we're going to do. But on our journey there, that's not what the universe wanted for us, because the moment we got to the hotel that we were staying at, our car broke down.
It did.
And like broke down.
We're not exaggerating. It really happened.
Like it broke down. It was our transmission, so it was like thousands of dollars to get it fixed. And at
what
this
month
point,
was that? It was hot too. I remember
March.
I remember it being hot.
Yep, it was March, and it was a transmission. It was just thousands. It was like thousands of
Something
dollars.
that wasn't worth fixing.
No, it wasn't at all. So at this point, we're like, whoa.
Mind y'all, we're only coming to apartment search, y'all. We live in Georgia at this point.
We have no choice but to live in Georgia.
All
at
our
this
stuff
point.
is back in Newark still.
Yeah, everything is still back at home. You know, we didn't even get to say goodbye to anybody because we were planning to have a nice little, you know, goodbye party. See you later. But that's not how the universe wanted it, because we got to the hotel, car broke down, transmission was bad, and it was just kind of like, all right, well, now we have to use this money to get a place, because if we go back, we're not coming back to Atlanta. It's just not going to happen.
Yeah.
So we went apartment hunting, and it was, you know, places available, but they're like, okay, we're not available until next month or to the 15th.
She ain't even telling you the car still drove a little bit. So it was a dud, but it still drove.
Like you had to like turn it on and off like within like little.
I think it went only like 15 miles per hour.
Yeah.
And we was like, we gotta get an apartment. Right? Like,
Yeah.
So
We're gonna drive.
We're gonna
15
drive this with the hazards on, and we're gonna get to where we going.
And
So
we
we
sure
was driving
did.
this broken car around Marietta.
And then at that, like, we're holding up traffic because the car is so slow. But we made it work because we went to look for apartments still. You know, we had a limited of choices because we had to stay in a close vicinity. But we ended up looking at apartments. But every time we went to an apartment, you know, they had availabilities, but it wasn't ready at the moment. We're in a hotel, and at this point, we're extending our stay at the hotel because we have no choice, but we have to find a place like ASAP.
We kind of knew we was gonna move there like soon because we had
soon.
Started putting applications in and stuff. So it's just interesting how everything worked out because I think I had a job I probably was hired.
That
on
same
a job,
day
probably
we got the apartment.
Same day I got the apartment.
Yeah, and check this out. So yeah, we're looking for apartments, right? We're getting, not denied, but they're saying it's just not available at the moment and we need something right away. So that's really not helping us because we're like, okay. Anyway, the apartment that I told you guys that I was looking up every day, we ended up traveling to that apartment. And when we got there, they had an apartment available. They had multiple apartments available. And they had an apartment available like for moving same day, like right now, if you have all the information. And we had everything lined up. So we ended up getting the apartment that I manifested by looking at every day, by feeling, believing, seeing, visualization, all of that good stuff.
Right.
And I got the keys to the apartment the same exact day that we went to that apartment complex. And we moved in. We didn't have much.
Ain't had nothing.
Nothing, actually. We had our bags, our daughter, and our son wasn't born at this point. But yeah, we didn't have much, and all of our stuff was back home because, like he said, we weren't planning to move. We were planning to move, but we were gonna orchestrate our move. You know, it wasn't gonna be just get up and leave. So at this point, we have to call our friends and family and be like, okay, well,
we need help, y'all.
We need help, but we're not coming back. Which they didn't expect that. So we're like calling, his mom, my dad, and we're like, okay, we need to figure out who's gonna go to our apartment and pack everything and send it to us to Georgia because we're not coming back. And at this point, it was either we're just gonna leave everything in Newark and say fuck it, because it was just financially, it just didn't make sense for us to go back, to come back. Like, it was just
too much.
We could bought new furniture, really, to be honest with you. But it ended up that our parents actually supported us and they helped. They got the apartment packed up and the movers, came down maybe like a week or so later.
Mm-hmm. We got our stuff like a week later.
But the moral of that is we got into the apartment that I was like really adamant about. Yeah, I was adamant on we were gonna get this apartment, and we ended up being at that apartment. And not only that, just everything after that was a manifestation, because at this point, being in Atlanta and being at this apartment complex was a big accomplishment for us because
shouts to the gallery, man.
Yeah, it was shouts to the gallery.
If any of y'all from Georgia and y'all know Marietta, y'all know what's our street? Is that Franklin? Franklin. Y'all know Franklin.
And check this out. While we were moving there, everybody was like, oh my God, this is the hood. You don't want them, because it was like one of those areas.
Hey, we just moved from Newark. They talking about the hood. They ain't worried about no Franklin. Man. What you talking about? We just came from Newark. We could go anywhere we stamped. What you talking about? We good. Zayla from Newark, low key, you feel me?
Yeah,
like, we good. Right? You feel me? Like,
and it was one of those areas that was like up and coming, like in the sense of like they were remodeling the landscape and everything. So it was kind of like it used to be the hood.
Yeah, it was.
At the right time, because now, oh my God, it's beautiful now. But like he said, we wasn't worried about that. We're like, listen, lady, we came from Newark.
Not worried.
This is not nowhere near compared. Yeah, no, we wasn't tripping, and it really wasn't. It was a beautiful area. Like, to be honest with you, being in that moment of being in that place was a dream.
Yeah.
Because when I was in the showers in our apartment in Newark, I would visualize myself in the showers in the apartment in Atlanta and just like, okay, how would it feel? How would it look? Like, put myself in there, close my eyes, and really like visualize, using my imagination like a little kid. You know, like, how is it going to feel? How am I going to feel to be able to, because our apartment complex that we moved into was really nice. We had 2 pools, a gym. It was gated. We had a tennis court, 2 tennis courts. Yeah, sometimes it was gated. What else did we had? A playground. It was really nice. So to be able to just like walk out your apartment and do all of these things in the comfort of the security, you know, it was a different environment. So it was just a good feeling knowing that, listen, we got ourselves here. You know, and from that moment, we really started to manifest more and more and more into our lives. But that's just kind of like the story time of how we got to Atlanta.
Even, you know, just always being divinely protected and being around the right people. You know, from being in Newark and even being here, we always get good neighbors, man. We always get good neighbors that don't stay neighbors even when we move apart.
Yeah, they become friends.
They become longtime friends. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like, you know, it's so funny. We connect with everybody around us. Like, we even missed a couple stories in Newark. Like, locked our keys in the house. And then
oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Let's talk about that experience in Newark. When you locked the keys.
Locked the keys in the house. Had to ask the neighbor to climb to go through his apartment, and he let me go through his apartment and go on his fire escape and go through the window.
But hold up, babe. How about the moment when our neighbors were like,
oh, I don't know what they had going. I don't know what they had going.
It was like an El Chapo movie, like. It was like some drug lord-ish going on.
If you ever seen the movie Leon the Professional, if you haven't, go see it. It's a wonderful movie, but it was like something from there. I'm in the living room / bedroom
/ kitchen
/ studio.
Oh my God.
Just chilling, working on music, and I hear boom. Boom, boom, boom. And I'm like, what the hell is going on out there? Like, Carlos decided to work on something today. What's going on? And I looked, you know what I'm saying? Because you can't just stick your head out the door.
You don't want to do that.
You know what I'm saying? I looked in through the peephole, and there's a guy in a trench coat with like 3 other guys, like a damn movie with 3 other guys, and they're like trying to kick the neighbor's door down. Like big police door kicks, like boom, boom.
Like it's vibrating our door, like you can hear our door shaking,
boom,
and I'm like, are they coming for us?
Damn, that's a good ass deadbolt y'all got on this joint, Carlos. I feel saved in the mug. They ain't gonna get in there. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, we had some good experience in Newark, and in that moment, I'm there really seeing the neighborhood for what it is, not for what other people tell me it is, but for what it is. And when I'm in the neighborhood of Newark and I see it, I'm just like, wow, Newark is beautiful. It really is. Like, the community is beautiful. It's just they need more programs for the kids, so kids can have something to do. And that's really what it is. It's just they lack resources.
They need programs for everybody out there. You know
and I start to notice that when I was there. I'm just like, this is such a beautiful community. It's just there's a lack of resources. So of course, when there's a lack of resources, what do they result to? Violence, theft, robbery, all that stuff. So it's like based off people's circumstances. Man. Yeah, and like you said, shout out to Do It All.
Yeah, man. Shout out to Do It All. A lot of other people. Raz Barack, a lot of people that's, that it sometimes it takes some people of the people that's from these communities to be able to do something about it. Nobody could be able to know what's really going on if you ain't from the environment and from that climate. You know what I'm saying? Newark is definitely, man, some of the most humbling times. I knew in them times that, it wasn't the best situation, but I knew that, we were destined for something better than that. Mm-hmm. And, when you put in a situation that you don't necessarily want to be in and it's uncomfortable, you know, is God, universe, whatever you believe in, is sitting you still to try to make you learn something, try to make you recognize something. So whenever you're in a messed up situation or something where you just don't understand why it's happening to you, you just gotta just be still, you know. And I feel like in our case, in a lot of people's cases, you gotta, to find yourself, you gotta lose yourself. You know what I mean? And in the situation that we was in, and you know, just really struggling, it gave me a lot of time to really think about what I was doing, and in that found a career in videography and a bunch of other things in my career, just because for once in my life I was slowed down from music and battle rap, which I was having a hard time struggling accepting that. You know what I mean? But in that, I didn't really have much time to think about it, because I hit the ground running with videography and got mad clients from the rip. First big client when we started our company was Kanye West's artist. You know, so power in them words, man.
Yes, definitely.
Power in them words. Believe in yourself. Believe in your vision. You know, even if you don't have a vision, think about what it is you want to do. Dream up some stuff. Concoct a plan and watch it bubble.
Yeah, and don't be scared to dream big. You know, I know a lot of people are uncomfortable because sometimes they feel like it's not realistic, but you know, no one has to believe it but you. You know, and that's a lot of the time that's our problem. We tell people our dreams and expect them to believe in it, and when they don't, they shatter our dreams, and that kind of puts doubt within ourselves, right? That we can achieve it. But dream big. You know, it's okay that you may not know how it's going to come, when it's going to come, where it's coming from, but it will come. You know, just give it up to the universe, God, whoever it is, where your source of faith comes from. Leave it into the hands of that, and allow it to just come and manifest. Allow yourself to receive it, you know, like, because if you dwell on it, that means you don't have faith. You don't have the belief that it's going to happen because you're dwelling on it.
Think of it like this. You got to think of everything that you want to do in life as little seeds that you want to plant to become flowers in your garden of success and accomplishments, right? Now, when you plant a flower, I don't know if you garden or anything, even if you don't, you know that it doesn't take 2 seconds to grow a flower. It's a process. So when you plant the seed, if you sat there and watched that seed and watched it grow, you're going to be there for a long time, man.
It's true.
You got to plant that seed, water it, plant another seed, water that, and keep going. And every now and then you come back and you water that seed. You put more on that idea. You put more on that goal. You know, if you can't do it all at once.
Well, guys, I know this episode was, you know, probably a lot of conversations of our journey of how we got to Georgia, and that's really not even it. It was
forgetting so much stuff, man, because so much stuff happened, so much things worked out for us. Even you know, even us getting to the point where we at now, we don't live in the same place that we used to live, you guys.
Oh yeah, no, we don't. We're in a house now. Oh, we're actually
that's a manifestation.
Yeah, check this out. We're actually in our studio, in our house.
Studio in our house.
That's a cool
something
thing.
that I always used to talk about and manifest. That I knew when we was in our apartment. I used to want to do it in the small apartment. Like, we can do it in it.
Yeah, and it was like, no way.
I got imagination. You know, as long as I got imagination, I can make it work. You know, but I would always dream of this. Like, we're going to have our own video studio.
Yeah, to sum up a long story, really is where we're at today is so far from where we came from.
Yeah. And
we struggled. And we had to embrace the struggle because it built character in us. It helped us grow. You know,
I think we need, like, like a continuation of this, because this goes so much
Yeah, no, we'll
so
definitely.
much further, you guys, because even the process of us getting this house, the process of what I went through within days and weeks before us getting to this house.
Yeah.
With my job and the things I was going through, and the things that I literally started asking for, that literally happened like that.
Very mystical.
Not next week, not next month.
Right. Very mystical.
Like within days, it happened. You know what I mean? But I think I want to say that because we got so much more. We got the stuff that you went through with your postpartum depression and what you got out of that we on a whole journey with. That's a manifestation within itself.
For sure.
I'm doing as a songwriter, the people that I'm around, that's more manifestations. You guys have to see how this works for real.
Yeah.
This thing is a real thing.
It goes so much deeper. So, but to leave you off with manifestation is just remember to visualize and use your imagination for anything that you want. It starts here first in the mind, right? So you have to visualize it, but you also have to believe it, which means you have to feel it. And these emotions help manifest it in the real world, right? Because we're not chasing it, we're attracting it. And by doing so, we are aligning ourselves in the same vibration of everything we want. And in order to do that, you have to have direction of what is it that you want, right? So a good way to help you when you're trying to manifest is creating a vision board. And I wanted to show you guys my vision board to give you guys inspiration on how to do a vision board so you can manifest the things that you want into your life. And this is my vision board. Yeah. And a lot of the times I used to do a vision board with with like basically like scrapbooking, where I would get like a poster board, cut up magazine pictures and quotes, and then glue it. But you don't even have to do that nowadays because we have the computer. So what I just did is just made a collage of all the things, the quotes, the photos, the house, the cars, everything that I wanted. I put it here and I just printed it out. And I have 3 of them. I have one in the office, the studio that we're here. I have one in our room, and I have one in the kitchen. And every time I look at it, it's just basically a reminder to believe in these things, but also it's also a visualization reminder to see it, visualize it mentally, right? And when I see it, I create the feeling of like, it will be really good to be on a beach right now. Those emotions help me align myself in those positions and attract what I want. So vision boards are really important and they help a lot. So if you want to manifest something into your life, start off with a vision board so you know what you want. Be very detailed on everything that you want and be ready to receive it. Believe it, feel it, vision it, and you can achieve it. I promise you. It may not be when you want it, but it will come if you believe. So this episode is dedicated to manifestation. It's probably going to be part 1 out of who knows, because
because we always working at it.
Yeah, and it's really going to be like story times until we get to that point where we feel like, okay, you guys understand us, you understand our story, you understand our journey. Now let's talk about the good stuff and let's bring our friends on.
Yeah.
But thank you guys for watching. Now that the kids are asleep, make sure you like, share, and subscribe.
Hit that bell, man. Don't forget.
Yes.
Please hit that bell.
Hit that bell.
I'm going to say it again. Hit that bell.
All the
Hit that bell, man. Hit that bell, man. Hit that bell, man.
Right.
Hit that like and hit that subscribe.
And share it to your friends, your family members,
Please.
your cousin, your bestie.
Please and thank you.
Yes, thank you guys for watching. Now that the kids are asleep, I'm Trisha Marie.
And
we're the Carters.